Hey, Jarek here, and you may be asking, haven't you already covered this game before? And yes, kind of, but no. I covered the demo before, and the full game released, or at least episode 1 did. But before I talk about Cultic, I need to talk about my audience. Statistically, you were probably a guy between the ages of 18 and 35, and statistically, 2 of 3 of you are experiencing some form of male pattern baldness. You have 2 main affordable solutions. The first one is to go to someone like Keeps, and the second one is to embrace being bald and shave your head. That second one is obviously unnerving if you are losing your hair and you don't want to shave what little hair you have left. And even if you end up in my situation where I'm happy how I look bald, in fact I think I look better bald than with hair, there's a lot of downsides to it. The first one is obvious, you need to shave your head, but I don't think people realize how much you need to shave your head. It's quite literally every day, assuming there is somewhere you need to be and you want to look as good as possible. If you don't shave your head every day, you are going to get that 5 o'clock shadow, and if you're balding, you're going to have that horseshoe thing on your head. Needless to say, it's more work to keep your head bald than to just try and keep the hair you have. It's certainly not a bad solution, and if it works for you, then it will gain you a lot of confidence. It's just a lot of work. So what about the other alternative? What about Keeps? Today's sponsor. Keeps is an online subscription service clinically proven to help men combat symptoms of hair loss. Treatment plans are affordable, typically half the price of what you'll see in a pharmacy, and they're delivered straight to your door. Most Keeps customers will notice improvement within 6 months of starting treatment, as you'll see here. And you never have to go to a doctor's office or a pharmacy. There is 24/7 medical advisor support. What you want could be stimulating hair growth, preventing hair loss, or just taking better care of your hair. It is important to mention that Keeps will only grow hair on top of your head, and if you're full on bald like me, it's not going to help you. But for the people having a receding hairline or a bald spot, Keeps is for you. And if you'd like to try it yourself, you can get 50% off your first order by going to keeps.com/Jarek, or click the link down below in the video information. Why should you listen to a bald dude? Because I get it, I understand. So huge thanks goes to Keeps for sponsoring this video. Again, keeps.com/Jarek. Now let's talk about Cultic. Cultic graphically is incredibly interesting to me. It's a mixture of proper 3D, voxels, and pixel art. It aims to mimic the original Blood, but in a 3D engine. And boy does it do that well. It definitely does have a case of the browns, like there is a lot of brown in this game. But overall, this is the one time I'm not really going to complain about that. There's quite a variety in its unique locales, and there is a lot of atmospheric world building. You'll very frequently find notes giving you a little bit more information as to what is going on. And you'll want to explore, because there are secrets all over these maps. And like usual, I am so bad at finding these. 2 out of 4, I never get above like 50%. All right, how many secrets did I miss? A lot. I got 2 out of 6 secrets. Why am I so bad at finding secrets? It is an incredibly polished game with a very specific style it's going for, and it nails it. The one critique I have is that while going for this look, things in the distance can kind of turn into a pixelated mess, which doesn't help because there are sniper enemies in the game. So trying to find that sniper out of that pixelated mess over there is not as easy as it should be. As for the PC release, it has all the mandatory options, yes, including an FOV slider, but you don't really have an in-depth amount of quality settings, and that's fine. While tinkering with things is nice, what you would expect to have is there, and the game runs as expected. The only complaint I have is that every time you launch it, it launches at 1920 by 1080, which is annoying if you have a 1440p monitor, because then it throws all the windows on your second screen everywhere. I wish it would just remember my resolution and I didn't have to reset it every time I launched the game. But that's a secondary issue. It's not really something I can take points off of, because at least you can change the resolution. And if you remember in the demo, I had problems with changing the key bindings, but that problem is gone here. Key bindings can be changed at your leisure, as they should. I never had any frame rate issues or any crashing issues, so overall a good PC release. Story-wise is where this game starts to separate it from other boomer shooters. This game is certainly not about player empowerment. Hell, the title screen alone tells you that. You are investigating a cult in the rural wilderness, and as the game progresses, it gets more and more messed up. I want to talk less about the story itself and more the tone. This game goes for some survival horror tones, and I love this. Gameplay wise, as I mentioned, it's quite a bit different from other boomer shooters. Boomer shooter and movement shooter is almost synonymous at this point, but Cultic looks to buck that trend. You can't double jump, you can't air dash, you can't quick swap weapons. This game wants to be a bit weightier in its combat. That's not to say you have no movement options. In fact, you have a jump kick, which really does give you a lot of speed, but it's a far cry from what you'll see in, say, Ultra Kill. I like a slower paced game, and we don't have enough of those. The keywords there were slower paced. It isn't exactly entirely slow. It's not like you're going from Doom 1 to Doom 3. To make up for the slower pace, the weapons are crunchier and more satisfying than they ever have been. Oh man, they feel so good. The combination of the sound effects and heads popping and even the occasional slow-mo, it all just comes together to make every headshot feel satisfying right up to the end of the game. But then there's the more unique weapons, like say the dynamite you can throw at any time. Yeah, this is where you really can see the blood inspiration.
I think they're dead.
Or how about Molotov cocktails? And once again, you can really see the blood inspiration here. God, I love fire in this game, and no, I'm not biased. To make it even better, you get one of the best flamethrowers I have ever seen in any game I have ever played. It doesn't matter how weak or strong that enemy is, when the enemy is on fire, it's going to die no matter what. Also, the split function makes a napalm ball explosion, so that's also cool. Speaking of enemies, let's briefly talk about them. What you would expect out of this game are a bunch of cult enemies. Some dudes wearing hoods with hatchets and guns trying to shoot you. What you might not expect are all the paranormal enemies, or the occasional monster.
Oh, hi. What the heck are you? It'd be nice if you didn't do that. That's unpleasant.
Or the awesome final boss that I will not spoil. I want you to play that for yourself. So yeah, even though this is only episode 1, there's already a wide enemy variety. Episode 1 will take you roughly 3 to 4 hours long. Once you beat the campaign, you can jump into the survival mode. I won't go over this again because I covered it in the demo, and because it's a survival mode, you've probably played these before, but it is still fun. And all of this without mentioning the music. I can't believe I almost forgot. This music is so good. So final opinions of Cultic. It is absolutely worth your money, especially since it's only $10. It feels totally different from all the other boomer shooters I've played, and if you've liked Blood in any way whatsoever, it is a must play for you. And that about sums it up. I want to give a huge thanks to our sponsor, Keeps. If you want to get 50% off your first purchase, go to keeps.com/Jarek. And of course, thank you for watching this video.